It is an outstandingly beautiful day here. It's 45 degrees, so that's not bad for this time of year. And I've got a squirrel, as you saw, who would love to come out here, I'm sure. So what we're going to do is take my vehicles out of the garage, open the garage door, and try gently to persuade the creature to go back to reality. Because it'll never be happy in here. The poor, you know, and actually it's acting a little strange. Most squirrels would have gone after the food that I put out and been real happy to get it. I'm sorry, I haven't had a shower yet. I've been monkeying around answering emails and stuff, and I just never got to it yet. And it is Saturday, so hey, you gotta have one day to grunge around, don't you, El Grungeroony? All right, well, here's the deal. I don't know how this is gonna work, and I did tell you about the squirrel not acting right. I put food down there, put water down there. It doesn't respond like a squirrel. So I don't know if the poor thing's sick. I hope it don't bite me. So do I. Come on. Come on, let's go. If he ever gets up here, he'll claw these plants to oblivion and back. Oh man, don't get near there. You'll never get away. Come on, boy. Come on. Oh, mammy. All right. Squirrels, wild squirrels in the house. Knock it off, come on. You know, I think I get a lot of this from watching the Three Stooges as a kid. All right, last I knew, the critter was back here, and he was not happy. Yep, I hear him. Okay, Fuzzy, you gotta go home. Since you won't eat, you got me wondering. Now don't you bite me, because I'm a very good fellow to baby squirrels and everybody else. Come on, it's time to go home. You need to run your ass out to the store. If you won't eat, there's something wrong somewhere. Where are you? You're back in there someplace. Come on, Fuzzy. Get a glove? Yeah, I better get a glove. Just in case, you know, if the little voice says, Georgie, get a glove, dude, you do yourself a favor to do what it says. All right, I got a glove. Now let's make a way for this creature to get out of here happily, because it'll realize something is about to take place. It might be in its own favor. Are you in there, Fuzzy? Where are you? Come on, bud. I don't see the blighter, but he's in here. All right, we got to get you going. You want to get going? Come on. Where are you, Fuzzy? Are you in here? Where are you? Oh, I hear you. All right, there you are, sort of. It's time to go home. Come on. Come on. I don't know how much you can see of this, but he's back. There he is. Come on, Squinky. It's time to go, kid. You know, every hotel at noon, you got to get your ass moving. Are you ready to come out? There. Now, we can see you. Okay, Squonk. You are shitting up a storm, but that happens with squirrels. Okay, now, I've got to move one of these so it don't fall on you when I move the other one. Don't worry, Fuzzy. Don't worry. Don't get excited. Don't get excited. Yeah, well, you got the right idea. Come on now. Where are you, Fuzz? Come on. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, guy, you're a big rascal. Oh, no, don't get in the woodpile. Do you f***ing believe? Excuse me. Oh, my God, what a pain in the ass. Come on, kid, don't be a peckerhead. Now you're back behind here? What a, God, what a complete... Come on, you gotta go outside. Come on. Don't flip out, but you gotta go. Oh, you're pain in the balls. How am I gonna get your ass out of there? All right, enough videoing. I'm just gonna get him out gently. I need both. I'm sorry you didn't get to see him go scrambling out the house, but he finally did go. That was a big squirrel. And no, I, by the grace of God, didn't get bit. Little bugger took off this way. Oh, what a pain in the ass, huh? There's that tree that caught on fire, remember? I ain't happy, but it's there. Well, at least the little kid's out here where he can get a nice drink, enjoy himself. The little Cooper, he said he needed to run. He hadn't run in a long time. Thank God the little kid started up nice. Good little Cooper. My nice Honda Pilot. All right, let's get in here before we let all the heat out of the house. Hey, you did a good deed. Why don't you put his food out there for him? Yeah, I will. I feel like that guy in Chevy Chase with Angela D'Angelo or whatever her name was. Man, she had buck teeth, but she was pretty. Don't start. I know where your mind's going. Knock it off. All right. Ah, yeah, hemorrhoid. I got a little bit of shit to put back. But not to worry about it. At least he's out, or whatever they were. I didn't get bit. There might be a handful of turds to deal with, but it shouldn't be the Humble's kitchen. Kitchen? What's this thing? All right. Well, you know, after a while, the cutting board gets a little creepy. So in order to fix that, we're going to put this little kid right up here where he's going to be happy. Hopefully. It's like that. And we're going to make sure this is an adjustment. Just like that, guys. What do you think? My ears are gone ape shit, but aside from that, even made the furnace kick on. But now, I'll put this away so it'll be happy the next time we need it. Okay, happy. Now just take a nice cloth and get the sawdust off. Not that it would hurt you any. But there you go. Now, what do you think? Isn't it better than it was? Yeah, I mean, it really should probably be coated with some poly. Or maybe it shouldn't. Maybe you should always be able to do this. Oh, it has a nice feel. Andy McDonald made that for me. Well, come on, let's get this thing unhooked. Maybe. There we are. And we'll get after it, guys. What do you think? Oh, it looks much better now. I'll unpack these happy vegetables and we'll prepare this nice package of chicken boneless, skinless thighs and get them squared away, and we'll be under control here. Something else, I thought I'd share this with you. If any of you've got a fuel oil furnace, you open up that little door and you look in there. See how that looks with those nice little points? That's the way it's supposed to look. So if yours looks like that, you're good to go. Yeah, if you live alone, you have to know how to maintain everything that's in the house. And twice a year, I rebuild that, and it's in good shape now. Okay, let's get cooking. I'm hungry. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. All right, sharp knife, ripping sharp. Always check this way, not any other way. Okay? So what we're going to do, obviously, is, ain't all that sharp, is it? No, but I ain't going to sharpen it right now either. So what we want to do is use our brand new cutting board. And you get about this far, guys, and set it down where it's happy. You don't want to take a chance on losing a thumb or making a shitty video, I'll tell you that for sure. Yeah, this thing is not sharp, but it needs to be sharpened. And we'll do that some other time. If you can't cut an onion, you might as well forget it. Okay, now we got to do the same gig. Turn it over where it's flat so you don't get hurt. Okay, that's the deal. I know. Everybody knows how to cut an onion. If you don't know how to cut an onion, probably cooking is not part of your daily process. Now we go in. Stragglers do escape. Be careful if you sharpen both edges not to grab onto that part. I'm gonna have to put a little thing there. That's been on the to-do list for a while. All right, right in the middle. This thing sucks. Hang on, this is ridiculous. Man, what does that say in Proverbs? If you don't sharpen the axe, you gotta work 3 times as hard. Now look at that. If we don't get steel shards in our food, idiot. All right. Yeah, we don't want steel shards in our food. Any worse than I already did. Oh, well. Don't you need a little metal in your diet? You don't need that, knucklehead. Okay. Very nice. Keep your fingers on the other sides of the blade. That's helpful too. Okay. Man, they're bailing out left and right. What's that thing? That's all right. It's part of an onion. Okay. Let's now put this on the serving dish. Just kind of wing it right over there nice. Try not to make as much of a mess as I just did. Okay. And now that's happy. All right, a nice pile of this stuff. Now this is what you gotta do. This is all part of chefing, is you have to prepare your shit in advance, your food products in advance. Set them aside and do the next one. Now, I'm not gonna go into what kind of pepper this looks like. I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut. I had a bunch of foolish things I was gonna say that this probably looked like. But you know what? It isn't going to build my character. One iota to open my mouth in such a foolish way. So I'm going to leave it alone. If you've ever seen anything like this in your life, it's already probably come to your mind what the hell it looks like. So I'm going to leave it alone. I think they're called red rocket peppers, if I'm not mistaken. It has something to do with a blue tick hound, I think. You knew I couldn't leave it alone. All right, come on. Cut the thing, you knucklehead. Blue tick hound peppers. I don't think that's what they are. But they are downright hot, I'm sure of that without too much question. Now this time, because we screwed it up the last time, let's do it like this. There we go. Isn't that better? All right, now you're got the jalapenos under your belt. Now why we cut the tails off of them is beyond me. And that also I'm not going to make a comment on. I'm just going to cut the peppers and have a nice day. Chilies or whatever you want to call them. This, on the other hand, reminds you that it might be a cayenne, but looks more like a friggin' leech you yanked out of a cesspool, to be honest, but hopefully it'll taste better than that. All right. Now there's true ways of cutting these. They say that if you angle cut them, they look nice. I don't know if it does anything for them, but they look nice. They look like you knew what you were doing, whether you did or not. Okay, whip those buggers into there too. You saw I did it the cheap way. Okay, another one of these, have these deals. You want to open them up to see if there's worms or some shit in there. And luckily, no, I've never found any, so I'm pleased to say that it probably works. Now the old production line from the tool shop days, you line up all your shit and get it done in one fall sweep. Now we're cutting 4 of the bastards with every stripe. And as they say, time is money. And when you're retired though, you can say F that and just enjoy yourself. Okay. Did I just say that? I think you said it, man. All right. So here's our pile of goodies, right? We've got green and red goodies, and we got nice white goodies. Now, we've got to deal with the chicken goodies, okay? Now for this, we damn sure do not, under any circumstances, want chicken liquids from the chicken in that wood. Absolutely, under no circumstances do you want any of that. That's just waiting to get sicker than a dog and maybe die. So this is what we've got. Now God says in the Bible that the fat is his. You know, you're welcome to it, old boy. I mean, no offense, but you're welcome to it. It's not good for me. They say too much of this shit clogs the veins, and all of a sudden you make a loud noise and bite the dust. Or maybe you go completely silent, but you still bite the dust, and that's the part I'm gonna kind of try to avoid for the time being. Oh, it's already in there. Okay. Well, we need a receptacle for this nasty stuff. All right. Put one over here. That's it. Okay. But I can almost hear that damn squirrel. I got to knock this shit off. They're going to put me in a loony bin. He's saying, but humble. Knock it off, would you? That shit gets old. I don't want to wear the thing out. That's kind of a cool thing. All right. All right. But this is the part that gives the flavor. Yeah, it does. So we'll leave a little of it. How's that? Now, what we're not going to do is put these in the pan right away. That's how we screwed the whole thing up the last time when I made the omelet. Is we got too antsy. Just had to put that right in the pan, and then the vegetables naturally never got to the spot where they should have got. Now, see, if you've ever skinned a deer or an animal, you'll know how to handle the knife properly and cut the parts you want without cutting the meat. Now, I don't, if you've lived in the city and you've never done that, then you might want to watch a little closer. But as a kid, we used to hunt field mice. I don't know why we did that, but we did. And skin them and put the skins on a D-cell battery and then bring them home to show Mom this D-cell battery with a coat made out of mouse skin. And of course, that's a good way to get your ass kicked every time, because she didn't appreciate you being cruel to animals, which is a good thing. You should get your ass kicked for being cruel. It's calm you right down the next time you think about it. Your mind equates cruelness with your ass getting kicked. And you'll be surprised how smart you can get after a few ass kickings. You simmer right down and that bullshit quits. All right. So much for never reprimand your child. I'll tell you what, you don't reprimand the child when he's little enough to beat his ass. When he gets old enough to kick your ass, he has no mercy. You're at the mercy of this nasty prick that lives down the cellar. He's friggin' 40 years old and he's never gotten a job yet. He's kicking your ass on a regular basis. You made a mistake, man, somewhere down the line. You made a big mistake. You should have grabbed that little puke when he was small enough to do something with. That way he'd give you a hard time. He gets his ass kicked. And he'd think twice. Because when you get old, you say, you know what? I don't want to kick Mom's ass. What did she say the last time we had an altercation where I cussed her out? She said, if you don't simmer down immediately, you 6-foot piece of shit, you're going to sleep some night and I'm going to knife your ass. You're going to learn something quick about what heaven looks like from the fast track. And I remembered Mom was quite serious. Usually after she bit a cigarette right in half, you knew, you have definitely pushed her beyond the limit. And the next thing that you see is probably the last thing you're going to see. Now, see, you want to get in here and get this deep pocket of gumbo out of here, but you want your fingers to still work tonight. just in case you want to play games or some shit. I don't have a girlfriend, so, well, we'll leave that alone too. But amazing how you think those thoughts, ain't it? While you're cutting chicken pieces? I don't know, it's not really sexy, is it? Not particularly, unless you're a weirdo. Alright, I'm not, so enough of that shit. Okay? You can leave a little, as I say, for flavor, but you want a good pile of that nasty fat to be off of there, because it's just, who the hell needs it? I mean, I don't know what this shit is made out of, but I know this much. Too much of this in your veins, and all of a sudden, well, first I guess you lose a little energy. Next thing, you can't hardly move, and then bap, they're all looking down at you saying, man, he looks great, doesn't he? Nah, he looks like shit, brother. He's gray and he's harder than a rock. His whole body won't move at all. Like they did with my buddy. There was a dear friend for umpteen years. When he died of a heart attack, now his was different. He had a heart attack, and they put him on some kind of, pharmaceutical medicine or more. And it was supposed to help with his heart. Unfortunately, it knocked his pecker offline. And having a wife who actually was one of the frisky ones and actually seemed to enjoy that shit once in a while, he figured, what the hell, I'm not going to, like Red Fox said, you show me a wife who won't, I'll show you a neighbor who will. In this case, Billy said, I ain't dealing with that because I'll kill the neighbor if he monkeys with my wife. So he went off to the medication, had a heart attack, and died. But, whatever. I don't know if it came from eating fat. But that is a true story. And I felt bad that the only argument I ever had with him was over an Xbox 360. Man, I bought that 360 for him. Now, he didn't have any money. The poor guy was poor as a church mouse. I mean, he was wealthy in God, but poor in the world. Anyway, he absolutely loved it. And when we used to play online together, and that gave us a way to get around, because he forgot to get his license renewed. And then, of course, being friggin' 53 years old at the time, said, I ain't going through all that horse shit again. I've been driving all my life. I'm not doing it. Piss on it. I'm driving without the license. I told him, I said, you're an idiot to do that. Boy, anything goes wrong, you are totally, absolutely, beyond measure screwed. And, of course, hey, I don't know if he proved me right or wrong. He died before they snagged him, so I guess you can look at it two different ways. And I will tell you this story about Billy. Now, he was a wild man. You think I drive those cars funny on the Assetto Corsa? That dude drove them on the street crazy as I did. I mean, I was only used to drive with my dad or my mother, Now, Dad would get a little rubber once in a while, even chirp gears. But Mom, are you shitting me? All she did was smoke parliaments and go a little bit below the speed limit. I think she gauged how far she went a day by how many friggin' cigarettes she pounded down. Those rotten bastard things. Well, anyway, so here we are coming down the home stretch. We've got everything prepared. And if you haven't turned this thing off yet, it's going to start to get good in a hurry. What I'm going to do is obviously not show you every step of the way. We've got another hour-long video. But what I will do is show the preparation of the pan. This is all the horse shit that weighs about, I don't know, a good amount. I paid for all that shit we're tossing. Of course, I could give it to the birds, but it might also attract coyotes. And I'm sure I heard one of them bastards the other night. And I don't want coyotes around. And, why feed the little animals and then encourage coyotes that are going to kill them? That don't make any sense to me. I don't do good with that shit, so let's not encourage them to start with. And I stuck that fat in the freezer because it ain't trash day yet. If you put it in there, it won't stink up the house. I tried to get that across to my Uncle George. Everything in life, including everything, you have to have an environment for the thing to grow. And if there's no environment, guess what? The shit don't grow. So if you don't have dirty gums and filthy unkept teeth, you're going to have teeth. If you want to eat nothing but sweets that encourage the incursion of all kinds of bacteria, then you're not going to have any teeth, because they don't stop eating the sweets. They go right after the gums and every other freaking thing. Okay, these bastards do set aside for now. This is what we want, okay, to get us some nice brown onions and a little bit of garlic. You can see sneaking in there. We got our peppers. They're doing their thing at a gentle rate. We got our meat over here just hanging out. Well, that don't sound wonderful, but there it is. And next step you'll see, we're going to put the meat in, get that squared away. And I got to notice I'm almost out of space on my phone, so I got to cut to the chase. Okay, guys? See you on step 3 or 4, I did have to manage to my storage, because just deleting it from the one place didn't do jack shit. We had to go in, and it forced me to do it its way. Okay. Reason I hesitated there, this is coming along beautifully, as you can see. Look at these rascals. You know, I wish you could smell them. They smell mighty good. Now, in the event, if you're a young fellow or whoever you are, an old fellow, and you have your sweetie, you just met so let's say you met a nice lady, somebody who had, you know, somebody you wanted to impress, you want to cook them a meal. Let me give you a little tip. Now this is off the cuff and off the cheek, so you know don't send the mafia to the door. And I'm certainly not going to say anything against Italian girls. I like Italian girls personally. German girls I like better. But in any event, here's the deal. Suppose you invite her over. I want to give you a test. Planters red skin peanuts. Peanuts. We pour some of these buggers in here, a nice amount like this. Okay, why do we do that? One, they're delicious. And two, if when you share this meal with her, she goes, "Oh, I can't believe you didn't peel the peanuts." Just look at her and say, "Honey, do you remember which door you came in? Go on home and enjoy yourself." And you could end a wicked divorce about 2 years down the road. It's going to fleece you of everything you ever owned, thought of owning, put you in hock the rest of your life. Oh, for those about 8 pieces of ass you might get if you're lucky, forget it, man. But on the other hand, if she goes, "Oh my, this is going to be so flavorful and delicious. I can't wait to try this." Hey, you might be onto something now. I'm not telling you it's an ironclad litmus test, but I will tell you this much now. If they piss and moan over stupid shit like that, give them the side sandal express. It's called hit the effing trail, wench. You know, you don't need that shit. Catch on quick, because I'll tell you, the lure of a little wombat is not worth it, bud. Not in the long run, short run, any run. It's all fun till it ain't fun. And as all men will tell you, especially the old ones, the moment the one head gets itself in the area, the other one shuts right down. In other words, the brain turns to silly putty when the putty gets, well, anyway, you got it. Leave it the shit alone, you'll be better off. It's for till the gold goes on, leave the other shit where it belongs. Okay? Not an arcane, stupid way of doing things. Just happens to be you're not going to end up being a sideshow for a bunch of demonic spirits while you're misbehaving yourself. Having what you think is the time of your life, it might be the last time of your life. Okay, look how quickly those are browning up. Get them right in there. Next time I see you guys, oh wait, first of all, now is the time you got to kind of figure, you should have thought of this earlier, but in any event, this is the time you're supposed to be thinking of what type of meal are we going to have tonight. Are we going to have curry? Are we going to have, what are we going to have? Do we want the chicken to have just a taste of, or just a tiny tinge of sweetness? If that's the case, we're going to want to go with just a tiny bit, of delicious honey. Now this is a real treat to try to get this in my face without the whiskers. And I did it though. That stuff is absolutely delicious. And I'll tell you something else. You put that over ice cream and the stuff gets hard, it's almost like candy. Better than candy. All right. Oh, that's right in there nice. That's happy now, boy. They think they're at the beach in Florida. How you figure that, Humble? Well, it's better than suntan oil, ain't it? Yeah, I guess it would be. Starting that Humble shit again. Uh-oh. I've been making these videos, man. I got to get more sleep and less video in. But I am having a good time cranking them out. All right. Next step, you'll see this when it's cooked and we'll be putting it together. I do want to save the flavors you want to have. You saw us put the honey in. Now we're going to go for a little balsamic vinaigrette. Just a nice amount there. Couple, 4 squirts, I guess. Is what was it? 4 horses for Sister Mary? No, it's 4 mules for somebody. Well, we ain't going for no mules, but we did put 4 squirts in there. And as the due process of time, we're going to stir this up. And you know, if you're going to cook something that's going to be worth eating, you cannot be farting around with emails, YouTube, well, maybe YouTube if it's in the background, but you're never going to pay attention to the content that that poor bastard labored over to ever be anything to you. If it is ever going to be good, you won't know it. In any event, stick with it. That's what I'm trying to cut to the chase and tell you. Stay here and cook. What cooks do, they cook. That's what their job is. Get here, cook. Don't monkey around. Don't go do your nails or any of that other nonsense. Cook it. Stand right here, flip that shit over, and have at it. Because in the end, I cook the same way I mod. I put the very best ingredients in that puppy, and I expect performance out the other end of it. Listen to it jumping around. Oh, baby. All right, next, we'll be putting all the shit together. At this stage of the operation, we go ahead for something that's going to give us a little color, and perhaps even a little flavor. So I've chose 4 Alarm Red Cayenne Ass Whooper, right from the store I go to. Don't worry, you know, they put this on here so they won't get sued. But the truth of the matter is, if you get used to my food, this shit is puppy chow. Anyway, you put a good amount on for the color of this, and pretty soon, man, we're ready to start popping some shit together here. Alright, we gotta get her turned over. Now, as I was making this, I could almost hear some inquisitive young lady ask me, who hasn't turned me off the channel by now because I pissed them off with something I said about women, which I love women. Go ahead. If you haven't figured that shit out by now, I don't have any hope for you. But, to the question, she was saying, how do I know when the chicken is cooked? And that's a legitimate question. Because quite frankly, once it starts looking like this, the last thing you want to do is serve anybody, yourself even, raw chicken. Oh, brother. The only one I know who can eat raw chicken is my Uncle George. He left it out on his California porch for several hours. The shit turned green, just about slimier than the ass end of a salamander. And I was going to toss it out. Well, I didn't realize he had Alzheimer's. He about attacked me, the old service pro, and said, you're not throwing any shit out here. Just because I'm a millionaire doesn't mean that we're tossing food. I said, I'll tell you what, just because you're a millionaire don't mean I'm eating that shit neither. So we had a little bit of a go, and he ate it. I don't know if he might even have ate it raw. Didn't hurt him. I guess after you've been in Nam, and then you've eaten the shit that they eat, don't ask me, brother, but he lived and I didn't eat that shit. I walked 5-6 blocks down to the Mexican joint and I had one ass-kicking meal. So, speaking of ass-kicking meals and back to the question, how do we know when this is palatable and ready? Alright, see this plastic thing? It's not all that sharp on the end? Okay, so you come over here and you push down. And when you see that you can cut it, it's like rubber until the shit's cooked. Once it's cooked, you can cut right through it. If I could get the film over here. Now obviously this big thick piece is not going to do it. You can actually you can look in there And see, dude, that shit's ready to leap out and beat the hell out of you. It's good. I don't know. I haven't had my ass kicked by a piece of chicken ever, but I guess it's the first. Alright. Come on. Keep turning that shit, because if anything burns now, we're screwed. We gotta have that stuff on the bottom, because that's an important part of this meal. Alright, now see this little guy? See how he cut like a champ? Now I'm not pushing down. You push down too hard with this pan, it's going to go flying across the room. We're going to have one pisser of a mess. So you just push down gently, and when the shit, you know, you're not trying to hoodwink your own self. If it's done, it's done. If it ain't done, keep cooking, man. As I told you, nothing worse than trying to eat raw chicken, or even partially raw chicken. That'll take a meal that would have been a 10 and stick it right down into the 2 zone real fast. You might even gag through that shit, but you're not going to enjoy it. Not one friggin' iota. And wait till you see dessert. Dessert? Oh yeah, man. This is the Sabbath. It's Saturday. And I am not a Seventh-day Adventist. I am just a regular old run-of-the-mill, born-again Christian, baptized by black Baptists in a cold-ass stream. There's enough to whiz in your balls to the point you'd never get them back again. Saved by a Mennonite down in Pennsylvania when I was 17. I went to Pentecostal churches, speaking in tongues. You sound like you're in another land, and I guess maybe in some distinct ways you are. You name it, I've seen it. Black Baptist churches that sing like a champion. The only pisser with that is, don't be a stupid honky and throw your shit in the offering basket in one blast, because if they'll pass that sucker 5-6 times. And buddy, you better realize you're going to be one ashamed son of a bitch. You're the only white guy in there and you ain't putting that shit in the pan. I mean, I'm all in favor of sowing seed into God's work, but I kind of like to blast it in there in one shot and call it a day. I don't want to monkey with it and preach about it. Go, well, listen, I'm not here to piss and moan about religion. Praise God, let everybody do as they wish. I'm not here to, we're cooking chicken, not pissing and moaning. Alright. Oh my God. I am overtired, I think. You ever get like that? Alright, see, I couldn't beat that down with a sledgehammer. You know that shit needs to cook more. This saves people a lot of work of trying to, see that? It's like rubber. If it's like rubber, man, there's 2 things. It's either not done or it's going to suck. We're going for the not done. But look how it's getting a nice color to it. And the flavor is jumping right in. That looks like something they cut out of a colon, but we're hoping that it ain't. So, freaking hemorrhoids are us. Alright. Yeah, it's still rubber. Let it cook, man. Just because you run out of foam, no reason to screw up dinner. Alright, let me shut this off and let that cook some more. Okay, guys. We're ready to start putting this stuff together now. Most of that now is no longer that hard frogman flipperish bullshit that we just went through the last time. It's starting to come to reality here. Let me get this adjusted. Aha, now I can see it nicely. Well, fairly nicely. Okay. Whew, also I got to use both hands. Whoa, Nelly, the shit's starting to go bananas. When it gets like this, it's obvious 2 things. It's either too hot or it's still rubbery, but that's alright. Calm it down, flip it over. It's got a good color now. Now we're going to start putting our ingredients in. Always put them in a little bit at a time from the edge to down edge. Don't try to wad the whole thing in one shot. It's a good way to spill everything and make a hell of a pissing mess. Besides, we just busted our balls trying to get this delicious, and or whatever we have to bust. In any event, that's in there. Now remember these happy guys? Look at our delicious onion that now is turning creepy. Well, it's not going to remain creepy. Once the heat hits this, oh, the flavors are going to blend. It's going to be like ambrosia, almost. If there is such a thing. All right. Now, you don't want to leave this on the top where it's going to do nothing. You have to Try to keep the shit in the pan, obviously. And stir it around. It's got to smell it. Oh man, if you could smell this, you would be jumping up and down like a champion. Okay? Now, if I did have a wife, I would say, honey, would you please make some nice rice for us tonight? Oh, yes, dear. I would like nothing better than to make rice for you. Oh, what a nice lady. Man, I'll tell you what, you could have my credit card, go shopping after this. Oh, really? That would be so nice. Oh, I need so many pairs of shoes. 14 or 15 at least. That's all right. Don't worry about it. Get yourself out there and have some fun. I got some videos to make, and I don't need a million questions while I'm doing it. Oh, thank you so much. You're the best in the world. I can hear it now. Almost. You know that shit ain't gonna happen. It would be, hey, why don't you go take a friggin' shit for yourself, you lazy bastard. You make them yourself. Worthless piece of shit. Yep. That's the kind of nonsense that don't build a man up too good. But you know what? Fuck the rice. We're going to eat this shit the way it is because all we are is a man here. You don't give a shit about amenities like rice. Hell, that's the kind of stuff that would make this look like it should be in a magazine. All it wants to do is cross these fucking whiskers, jump down my throat, and take a shit tomorrow. Other than a little bit of nourishment, I could give a flying F. But I am making a video. And I don't know if Emerald would have ever said that. Yeah, well, dude, you ain't Emerald. I got news for your ass. Okay, well, take a look. I wish you could smell this. Man, this shit is good. But it ain't done yet. Now, back to the little wee bit of water. But humble, it'll make it all like rubber. Nah, this shit has gone past the rubber stage. Just a nice, not a whole shit house load. You're not trying to make the swamp in Washington. All you're trying to do is lube up the pan so the shit don't stick to it. See that? Now look, we got just enough moisture in there. That's a good word for it, moisture. That the stuff is now not likely to stick. And it is one of them Teflon pans, so hopefully we won't die of some kind of horrible disease because they deliberately want you dead. I could use cast iron, which is really good to cook with, is cast iron, is because you need iron in your system. And I may be an ignorant son of a gun, but I assume that it's the same kind of iron. In any event, there it is. It's almost happy. If we were starving to death or lazier than a bastard, we could eat it right now. But it would never be that extra special that it could have been if we hadn't been a knucklehead and took our time. Because I'm not starving, but you would make this stuff, you're gonna get it, you're gonna be appreciating the nummy. All right, we cover him up. There, ba-boom. Cut him way down to about a 3 to 4 inch. Let him go. Don't worry about it. Now's the time we can be double tasking. We could get a nice little sponge. Put some happy soap on there, just a wee bit. Just like this. Now we can come back here for a preliminary, whoa, Nelly, swipe on all this nasty garbage that's just tore up my whole stove. You want to get it all wiped off of there while it's hotter than a bastard. Not touching that at all. Man, yeah, you know, when you're cooking, if it makes you fart, it's good. Because your body is getting ready to eat. It's saying, I know this shit's going to be good. And I know George cooks hot shit. So I better light one off right now. Give him a little room. Yep. So here's one plate done. While that's simmering, the other plate done. While that's simmering, that's 2 down the drain. And now that's 2 less I got to monkey with later on. Okay, guys. The moment of renewed, reinvigorated, not reanimated, or we have to chase the chicken all over the friggin' house. But it's almost ready. Man, you're a clean freak. No, I just don't want friggin' bacteria and smells and every kind of creeping, crawling son of a bitch that finds food here. As I told you before, even take a look for a second at your computer. You have to have a folder to put something in before you can put it in there, right? So you gotta have an environment for the shit to grow, or guess what? It don't. Now, back to that story with Billy. Yeah, you never told us about Billy. Well, I was gonna tell you this. His girlfriend Susie, nice lady, real nice. She bought a 1968 440 Magnum Dodge Charger. And now we're talking, this was about 1973? Yeah. Well, it had an automatic, thank God, but it had a lot of horsepower. And luckily, Billy didn't have enough money to really build the thing like he would have liked to, but he used to really love to burn the rubbers on it, burn the tires on that car. So, there was a tire company down the street where we lived, and they were running a special on these special tires. You buy these tires, they're guaranteed for X amount of miles. For any reason, oh, that was a big mistake. For any reason, these don't perform up to that level of mileage, you get a brand new set installed at our cost. Woohoo! That's all old Bouncy Boy had to hear. He went through, count them, 5 sets of them tires in less than a month. And the first one he burnt right down to where the cords were hanging out. His wheel wells had about that much tar and rubber stuck on the insides. Okay, after the 4th set, they were really friggin' pissed. By the 5th set, the manager grabbed, well, he didn't grab Billy, he got his ass kicked right there on the spot, but he did take him aside and say, Mr. Bounce, you are not welcome here ever again. Under any circumstances, hit the road. We're not putting one more set of tires on you. You're done. He laughed to beat hell. Billy had a good sense of humor, but he knew when enough was enough. And enough, my friends, is enough. Take a look at this. Now, if we had some cottage cheese, oh, if we only had some freaking cottage cheese. I didn't think of it, but if we had, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? If we had cottage cheese, what you would do, and it's hard to get good cottage cheese anymore. The shit looks like, it is not even cottage, it doesn't, cottage cheese in the 60s had lumps and it was different. This is all, even if you get the large cottage cheese, that shit ain't cottage cheese, man. I got news for you. It might be cottage bullshit, but it ain't cottage cheese. You would put a nice pile of cottage cheese, cold, right out of the refrigerator. The cold and the hot is, oh, delicious together. They say that opposites attract. Well, let me tell you, this opposite, that food don't last long because you're going to be kicking its ass. All right. Put a nice amount on there. A human amount, as my friend Dave Madison would say. He'd say, don't be a woman. Well, I leave that alone too. Nowadays, you can be whatever you want. I guess you could be a tree frog or a flying squirrel if you think so. What the hell? What the? Enough. They're going to piss and moan. You got to realize the world has gone insane. Okay, I realize it. We'll go chip to the next thing. Look at the steam coming off this. That's what my loincloth is going to look like after I eat this. Steam coming off because of the heat from the peppers and everything else. Well, guys, stick around. I'm going to nibble this. Again, I'm not going to eat it in front of you. 2 reasons. 1, it's rude. 2, the whiskers catch hell when you try to eat. So that's why I eat at home a lot. It's hard to believe you drop that much food on your own self. I don't remember ever dropping food on me when I had no whiskers, but now whiskers apparently attract food. Okay, guys, check it out. I'll be back. Okay, guys. Now, I know I said, I don't mean to bullshit you or lie to you or anything, that I wouldn't do this while I'm eating, but I got to tell you right now, on a 1 to 10 scale, this shit's a 14. Honest to God, it is absolutely breathtakingly delicious. Every single mouthful has so much flavor and is so just perfectly balanced. The balance between the sweet and the hot and the salt is absolutely perfect. Now, how the hell I did it is totally. This fucking thing's focusing on the knife. What the hell? New World Order pieces of shit. Anyway, here we go. Mmm. Mmm. Absolutely. Every flavor is distinguishable and absolutely freaking marvelous. Not because I made it. I don't give a shit. You could serve this to President Trump, and he'd probably send you to Tahiti for 2 or 3 years just on a tip. This is freaking delicious. Absolutely delicious. Absolutely. Look at this. Oh my God. It is fabulous. So you saw me make it. You saw what I did. Ask God to help you. And see, for those stupid wenches, the friggin' shells fall off their skins as you cook it. I mean, I'm not going to peel these sons of bitches. Kiss my ass. That ain't happening any day soon. Don't think I'm funny, because my Aunt Simone demanded that we peel every single individual mushroom. She was another nutcase. Kiss my ass. We're eating these fuckers today. I spent 8 hours. You ever try to peel a friggin' mushroom? Holy shit, is that hard. Those fuckers fight you tooth and nail. Okay, guys. Oh, what am I drinking? Delicious orange juice. I just had a delicious meal. Now we're going to have a little bit of something nice just because we can. Because we're thankful to be alive. And because this is mighty damn good. So this is what we do. I usually would like to use chocolate. The best chocolate ice cream I can find, but since I ate it already, we're going to have to go for step 2. Brand new, fresh, right off the old shelf-a-rooney. Now these make nice targets for your archery too, by the way. And I would, if I didn't have the whiskers, I'd be licking that right off of there. Man, I'd be tearing that shit up. But we're not that cheap. We can toss a little of that to the curb. Okay. So what are we doing, Humble? Yeah, I hear you. You get a good stout spoon, and you start from the edge, wedging this delicious. I can almost smell it. I mean, almost. You got to really use an imagination, because not any of this shit has enough flavor to hardly say anything about it. Maybe in your country, you got real shit. Here, our shit's used to be real. It's getting screwier by the day. But at any event, put a good, there ain't much left, but enough for another serving anyway. So you put this back where it came from. Now the good part comes right now. See, oh, I know he's going to put some chocolate syrup on there, ain't he? Well, that's good. But no, I ain't. No, we're going to put some nice Jack Daniels. Original recipe, Tennessee honey, $45 frickin' a bottle. You got robbed, Humble. Whatever, but hey, we got some, don't we? Let me make sure you can see this. Can you see this? This shit's good, boy. Oh, man. Now, you don't put so much on you become a babbling idiot, or enough that would turn a mouse into a Wolverine. You just... we might have gone into both modes right there. Because I know if I get too cocked on this shit, I can't talk at all. I mean, I'm talking, but no words are negligible. I mean, God's the only one who understands me. Let's put it that way. Because nobody else does. Yep, you're right. Yep, whatever. But now, let this mingle a little bit. Don't be afraid to monkey with it a little. See, just kind of kick it into human biteable pieces. and let it mingle with that nice whiskey. Oh, that whiskey will kick your ass, boy. But this isn't a meal that you'd want to get cocked on. All it is it's a delicious flavor. It's better, I'm sure. I just know it's better with chocolate ice cream. But in lieu of not having it, we're going to deal with it like it is. Now, we could stop right here and look at the color. It's starting to almost look pink. Yeah, as the ice cream is now becoming totally inebriated in the heavy-duty alcohol sludge we just put in there. Okay, now look how it's already starting to cut easier. That alcohol kicks its ass. Okay. Yep, I overdid it. But sometimes a little overdoing ain't so bad. Now, remember I told you about this? Check this. Let's get it where you can see it. Check this shit out. Look at that, honey. Oh, ho, ho. Not to be confused with Mr. Gasket or whatever that shit was we used to put in the crankcase. Remember that shit? It was, what the hell was that now? It was good in the crankcase, man. And it looked just like this, too. What the fuck was, or excuse me, what was it? Well, anyway, it was damn sure not honey. Or you don't have an engine. I'll tell you that much right now. Okay. Now this is playing dangerous. And I'm glad I'm at home and I am not driving anywhere. Because again, I said, it's not to get hammered. It's to enjoy the flavor of it. So, look at the, oh, see, I told you. Watch, when the honey gets cold, it looked a little creepy, to be honest. But don't let that fool you. It's really just delicious honey. What the hell was the name of that stuff? Oh, guys, come on, man. Somebody put it in the comments. It looked just like this. STP. That's the word. Thank you, whoever said that. Stop teenage pregnancy. Yeah, you lube with that. You don't have to worry about nothing. I'll tell you what. This ain't too shabby. Now, if it was chocolate, I'd give you the 14 out of 10 scale. This is a 12 all day long. Impossible to eat while I'm doing a video. So I'm going to knock the video off. Hope you've enjoyed it. Oh man, I never even hit the fucking button. Are you shitting me? Tell me I hit the button. I did. All right. Oh my God, I thought I never hit the button. I'm sorry for cussing, guys and gals. I forget little kids could watch this. Well, if you are, be nice to your parents so don't kick your ass, okay? Bye-bye.